the song of shattered voices. The hall of resonance glittered with crystal veins, its walls trembling faintly with the unified hum of the Cairn Council. Their song was not merely music but governance. Every note carefully tuned, every tone an agreement codified into law. The air itself seemed thick with harmony, vibrating with sacred order. Into this cathedral of perfection walked the humans. Ambassador Reyes led the way, his boots striking too heavily against the polished stone. Behind him came 6 others, scholars, envoys, and a military attaché who already looked bored. The Cairn were tall and lithe, their voices woven together in seamless chords. The humans broke that spell instantly. "Don't touch that, Marcus," hissed Dr. Velez. "I wasn't going to," Marcus lied, hand still hovering over a crystalline instrument. "Focus," Reyes barked, his voice cutting across both of them. The Cairn's harmonics faltered, just a fraction. A ripple of unease stirred. To them, this exchange was not conversation. It was an act of violence. And then, as the delegation took their seats, Marcus leaned close to Velez and muttered something about space-tuning forks. She snorted with laughter. Laughter. In the hall of resonance. The Cairn nearly broke their chorus. To them, it was as though thunder had rolled across the chamber. Something dreadful had entered their harmony. The council began its ceremonial overture, voices blending in liquid tones. Each phrase was a question, each sustained note an agreement. Decisions bloomed into existence like chords resolving to completion. The humans lasted 5 minutes. "This can't be how they debate policy," whispered Marcus. "Shut up," hissed Velez. "No, really," Marcus pressed louder. "How do you disagree? Just hit the wrong note." Half the human delegation chuckled. The Cairn's harmonics wavered again, trembling at the edges. For a Cairn, to laugh mid-song was akin to coughing blood, an omen of collapse. Ambassador Reyes tried to salvage the moment, but he only made it worse. "Forgive them," he said quickly. "We humans are less formal in our discourse." Velez muttered. "That's one way to put it. Would you rather I lied?" Reyes snapped. "Oh, here we go again," Marcus muttered, rolling his eyes. Voices piled on voices, interruptions stacking like clashing cymbals. Reyes barked for order, only for Marcus to crack another joke about off-key governance. The Cairn had never witnessed such a storm of dissonance. To their ears, this was chaos given form, a hall filled with jagged sound that refused to resolve. One elder's resonance collapsed into silence. Another trembled audibly. The humans hadn't just disrupted the song. They had poisoned it. The council adjourned early, something so rare it sent shivers through the station's crystalline halls. The humans were escorted out, the Cairn avoiding eye contact as though afraid to catch the disease of discord. Back in their quarters, the humans broke into argument again. "They think we're barbarians," Reyes snapped, pacing furiously. "Well, we kind of are," Marcus grinned. "Barbarians with better tailoring." "This isn't funny," Reyes growled. "Do you realize what's at stake?" Velez rubbed her temples. "Maybe they just need time. Or maybe we blew it already." They were still bickering when the alarms began. A resonant wail shook the floor, low and urgent. Lights across the walls flickered crimson. The translation system spat out words none of them wanted to hear. Collision event detected. Object approaching. Trajectory, impact. The asteroid appeared on their hollow display moments later, a jagged black shape tumbling end over end. It wasn't small. The Cairn convened immediately in the Hall of Resonance. The humans followed, ushered in by panicked aides. The council tried to sing, voices rising in fractured attempts at harmony. But fear corrupted every chord. No agreement formed. No resolution appeared. Their perfect system demanded unanimity, yet terror had splintered them into silence. And the asteroid kept coming. Ambassador Reyes felt his stomach drop as the Cairn faltered. Their song spiraled into discordant fragments, chords breaking apart mid-phrase. "They can't decide," whispered Velez. "Decide what?" Marcus asked. "Anything," she realized. "Course corrections, defenses, evacuation. Their system only works if they all agree, if they can hold the harmony." The Cairn elders swayed, voices trembling. One suggested deflection lasers, but his note fell out of sync. Another countered with evacuation, her tone trembling sharp. None of it resolved. Their harmony shattered. The asteroid grew closer on the hollow display, time bleeding away. Reyes clenched his fists. We don't have time for this. He turned on his team. Marcus, calculate a burn vector. Veles, start pulling energy reserves for the station's thrusters. Singh, coordinate with the Cairn engineers. Tell them exactly what to reroute. Voices erupted instantly. Marcus argued about thrust limitations. Veles shouted back that she needed clearance codes. Singh barked contradictory orders at two Cairn who looked horrified at the chaos. It was messy. It was loud. Everyone contradicted everyone else. And somehow, momentum built. The humans shouted over each other, cutting, interrupting, snapping, but each jagged sound carried action forward. The Cairn watched in horror as the chamber filled with shouting humans, a storm of discord where harmony should have lived. The asteroid loomed closer, filling half the hollow display now. Its tumbling shadow reached out like a fist toward the station. Marcus slammed numbers onto his datapad, cursing. We've got one shot. If the thrusters fire late, we won't clear it. Veles shot back. Then stop complaining and give me the vector. I'm trying. If you'd stop interrupting. Interrupting? You paused for a dramatic sigh. Reyes cut them both off. Veles, prep the thrusters. Marcus, shut up and hand her the numbers. Singh, how long until the Cairn reroute the power? They're panicking. Singh yelled. Half of them won't move without a quartal vote. Then tell them it's already decided. Reyes barked. Orders flew. Arguments crashed. The humans filled the Hall of Resonance with a brutal, clashing chorus of survival. The Cairn engineers hesitated, then moved, driven less by understanding than by sheer force of shouted conviction. Thrusters primed. Veles called. Vector locked. Marcus added. Power online. Singh bellowed. The asteroid's shadow swallowed the display. Fire. Reyes roared. The station lurched as its massive thrusters spat fire into the void. The entire hall shook with the vibration, crystal walls groaning in protest. The hollow display updated agonizingly slow. The asteroid shifted, veering, just barely. Not enough. The asteroid's projected path still intersected with the station, only slightly grazed off its original trajectory. Impact remained inevitable. Panic seized the Cairn. Several collapsed, their voices lost. Their harmony lay in ruins. Not good enough. Reyes shouted. Options. Secondary thrusters. Marcus yelled. They'll burn out. Veles countered. Then better burned out than dead. Singh snapped. Arguments slammed into each other like colliding asteroids. Reyes cut through it. Do it. Hands flew. Commands rattled. Humans barked, cursed, laughed nervously. They talked over each other, mid-sentence contradictions sparking new solutions. Too much thrust, and we'll spin the station. Then anchor it with the solar sails. Are you insane? Do it anyway. The Cairn stood frozen, trembling at the discord. To them, it was unbearable noise, like a planet cracking open. But through the chaos, the humans acted. Commands ricocheted, overlapping, yet somehow landing in motion. The secondary thrusters fired. The sails shuddered. The asteroid's path bent harder this time, scraping past the station with a roar of displaced debris. Fragments rattled against the outer hull. Silence followed. The asteroid was gone. The station still lived. The humans stood panting, sweat-soaked, mid-argument. The Cairn stared at them as though they had witnessed monsters. In the aftermath, recordings of the humans shouting filled the Hall of Resonance. The Cairn studied them with horror at first, discordant voices overlapping, colliding, exploding in raw noise. But then, something else emerged. Analyzed as resonance waves, the human shouting revealed strange patterns. Not harmony, not by Cairn standards, but rhythm, cadence. A raw, jagged chord of survival, improvised in real time. The Cairn elders trembled as they listened again. To them, it was like hearing a storm that somehow became a song. The humans hadn't been unified, but neither had they been lost. Their discord had direction, their contradictions momentum. They had sung survival into being, without even meaning to. Reyes watched the Cairn elders whisper among themselves. He expected condemnation, exile. Instead, one elder rose, voice quivering. You are not like us, she said. Your chorus is shattered. Your voices clash. And yet, in the breaking, you are strong. Marcus leaned toward Veles, whispering. So, we're officially the galaxy's worst band. Veles stifled a laugh. The Cairn did not laugh. But they did something stranger. They bowed. For the first time in millennia, the Choral Council acknowledged a new truth. Harmony was not the only path to survival. Sometimes, even chaos could sing.